first things first, of course, the big news of the day, Jon Jones is back. Jon Jones reclaims the title that he was stripped of. He knocks out Daniel Cormier with a left head kick at 3 minutes of the third round. And Frank, I'll just get your initial thoughts here, because the finish was certainly what you predicted. Was it every bit as spectacular as you thought it might be?
Yeah, and actually I was even impressed with the patience of Jon. I hear people saying that, well, Daniel was doing well, he was in there winning. And here's the thing, guys. Daniels was playing checkers, and Jon was playing chess. Daniel was trying to overcome the height and reach advantage. So, every time he saw an opportunity, he took it. He wasn't developing thinking about the second, thinking about the third, or even the final round. Whereas you watch Jon on the flip side, he was attacking the legs with the oblique kicks, inside kicks, the body. He threw about 3 or 4 left hooks to the liver, threw a couple knees to the liver. Even amongst the fact that Jon got hit, that just shows the mental patience that Jon has, that not only, people want to give him accolades for being a phenomenal athlete. And yes, he is a freak of nature physically for a guy who can make 205. If you look at his upper body stature, his structure, his neck, his jaw, his frame, he is huge. You know what I mean? You see the reach he has, he extends his hands. But on top of that, the reason why he is unbeatable, besides, a lucky shot, but as far as unbeatable as any MMA fighter that I think has ever lived, is that his mindset too is equal to what his physical prowess brings. And even though I think in the opening bell, DC probably landed the best punch he landed the whole fight right off the bat, hit him with a vicious uppercut, an uppercut that knocked out Bigfoot Silva, that's dropped many of heavyweights and light heavyweights. You have a guy, it hurt Gustafsson when he hit him with the uppercut. He hit Jon, knocked Jon's mouthpiece out of his mouth. Jon's legs didn't even begin. There was no shake. Kind of smiled like, yeah, you got me. But and still stuck to his game plan of methodically breaking Daniel down. And that's what you saw. The third round head kick wasn't a lucky shot. It was a shot that he was developing for 2 rounds. Sitting there going, okay, I'm going to throw kicks to the body, legs, beat him up. And so then when he started to move the hip, you see that Daniel then at that moment starts to, fade over. He's favoring the fact that he's been hit in the body so many times, and Jon throws it right up to his head, lands perfectly. The shin on the forehead of Daniel Cormier, and then once he has him hurt, even stumbles forward and didn't just throw like, okay, I have to get this guy out of here. You've seen he kept his stance with him the whole time, swept the lead leg, and then once he got on top of Daniel, he unleashed hell. And it's just, again, I'll tell people, Daniel Cormier is without a doubt the second best fighter at 205 that I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. The problem is that he happens to be fighting during the time that the best fighter in the world that probably ever lived in any weight class happens to be competing the same time he does. And he's also 8 years younger than him. I don't know what that would feel like to be Daniel, to be like, damn, I'm probably arguably one of the best fighters of all time. You could put him in that with the pound for pound. The guy's never even lost a round.
Before he fought Jon the first time, he had never lost a round.
Never lost a round.
Never been in trouble. How about that? You never really seen him rocked before that first fight.
Never. And, he's so dominant. He just happens to have Jon Jones during the same era, and who's younger than him. So it doesn't even like he can out-age him. Daniel, I'm curious what he's going to do with his career now. Do you go back and build up and know that, okay, it's going to take me a fight or two and then work his way back in a year and a half? Let's say he gets a second title shot. Now he's 40, fighting a 32-year-old. Jon's only getting better, and the fight results are getting more to his side. The first one, was a competitive fight. The second one, I know people think it was competitive, but from what I was watching, Jon didn't even respect the power of Daniel. Every time Daniel kind of finally caught him with a shot or two, the fact that, and you're there live, you can see Daniel couldn't even throw a punch without raising his weight up off his feet. So he's having to reach and almost jump into the strike. Well, you talk to any boxer and be like, hey, if you leave your feet and throw a punch, How much power are you going to have when it lands? They're going to be like, fucking nothing. I mean, you want to see power. You look at Rocky Marciano's old films that you can watch on YouTube where you have a low stance. You bury yourself down. Mike Tyson, why did he have so much power? It came from the ground, and he fought with his, he was sitting in the chair. His balance is low. And the problem is that Daniel's not able to hit Jon in the chin and keep that power stance. He'd have to work his body. An area that it would actually surprise me that Cormier didn't go for. I would have thought he wanted to work the body a little bit more. That way it also disguised his takedowns somewhat. So that way why he's coming in at a lower level. But, it just, again, I think we broke that down leading up to the fight. On paper, Jon beats Daniel in every facet of the game. Wrestling, striking, ring IQ as far as knowing what goes on and setting up, instruction, composure, you name it. It's just that, and it's that's why I think now, and I had tweeted that out last night, is that I feel that now the argument for who the pound for pound greatest fighter is, in my opinion, it's Jon, because the other guy out there, Demetrius Johnson, right? His body of work speaks for itself. The guy is, he's mowing through the division, but what kills him is he didn't have a Daniel Cormier. He doesn't have that next guy that's super dominant, that smashes everybody else at 125, that he gets there, and then he smashed him too. If you think about it, down there at the flyweight, they kind of exchange back and forth. There's no, besides DJ, who's the other dominant flyweight?
I mean, you would be looking at guys like Joe Benavidez, Henry Cejudo. I mean, guys that were Mighty Mouse's number 3, number 4 contenders. But you're right; it's not like they were unblemished except for their fight with Mighty Mouse. So I get your point.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Daniel Cormier, never losing a round. I mean, how dominant, and he's fought everybody. Anthony Johnson, Gustafsson, I mean, you name it, the guy's gone out there and done it. It's just that, and then goes and gets smashed by Jon. So, I mean, it is what it is. How do you make an argument that there's another guy out there that pound for pound, Jon has never lost a fight? He lost the one that was a DQ for the downward elbow on Matt Hamill. But, I mean, no one's ever beaten Jon inside the cage. And the number 2 guy who smashes everybody else in the world, who was undefeated as a heavyweight, and the only reason why he probably wasn't the heavyweight champ is that his friend Cain Velasquez was the heavyweight champ, so then he jumps down to 205 and still just he gets knocked out. I mean, no one had beat Daniel on a single round, let alone smash him and knock him out to where he didn't even know where he was.